Going abroad to meet different kinds of women. If you're living in the West, uh, if you're living in the United States, Canada, and certain parts of Western Europe, you've been exposed to these women that are these days less than appealing. They've lost their femininity. Their focus is on proving to you that they are equal as men. They want us to accept them as a man in a body of a woman, basically, which is they don't realize how unpleasant it is, and they would rather argue with you until you're blue in the face about why they're right than actually accept that in order to get what you want from someone, you have to give them what they want. But they refuse. They refuse. I talked to many of them, and 99% of them refuse to listen, and they would rather argue with you about why they're right. Okay, have it your way. And be lonely with a pet and a bottle. But I'm making this video because many people have asked me about places that you can go overseas for the best women. Well, I give the same answer as when people ask me, you know, you've been to so many countries, I've been to 151, and tell us what's your favorite. There is no intelligent answer to that question. I always tell them, tell me what you like, and I can tell you where is the best place in the world to get it. And I have the same answer for men that ask me, where are the best women? Well, tell me what you like, and I can tell you where is the best place to get them. But before I give you some names of countries and nature of women in those countries, I want to tell you something else. There are countless novices on the internet that make it look like you're going to go, and believe me, you'll thank me later for this. Novices that tell you, that make you believe that you're going to go to a certain country, a certain city, and then suddenly magic happens. I'm afraid to say that the old saying, wherever you go, there you are, very much applies here. Believe me, on a daily basis, I come across these people that are know-it-all, novices, green people, or the ones that are not so young, but they're not so smart, not so wise, and they get burned. Believe me, they get burned, and they belong in the category of those who'd rather make the mistake themselves the hard way, learn the hard way, than learning it from others. What I'm about to tell you is that where you, what you like and what your preferences are should determine where you go to meet women overseas. But please, under no circumstances, at any time, in any situation, think that there's going to be a magical, panacea, a magical solution. Nature of women is same all over the world. They want a man who is a leader. They want a man who has money. They want a man who is strong. They want the man who appears capable. And they want the man who knows the role of a man, acts like a man, acts masculine. At the same time, understanding, compassionate and kind and everything. No one likes an arrogant know-it-all. But if you have those qualities, the only difference is that, when you are maybe in, in certain parts of the United States, let's say, those women expect you to have X amount of money. But when you are in other parts of the world, much, much, much lower amount of money will get you the same satisfaction out of a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Is, if a woman in the West expects you to have a 5-bedroom home and a 4-car garage and X amount of income a month, a woman in other countries requires much, much, much less. Basically a nice place to sleep, a warm place to sleep, and enough money to take her to dinner and pay for the rent and everything, and she's a happy camper. But as far as your personal preference in terms of physical appearance of a woman, if you go to Asia, you're going to get Asian women. And if you go to South America, you're going to get a combination of as far dark as a black, Afro-looking woman. And believe me, in South America, very easily you can find the blue-eyed, green-eyed, blonde women that look very much like a woman in Paris. Until they open their mouth and you realize that they're not. But if you go to places like Medellin in Colombia, They are blue-eyed blondes, even some parts of Venezuela. And in Brazil, if you go to, Florianopolis in Brazil, they're blue-eyed blondes. And in the same country, Brazil, you go to Recife and the northern part, they look like they're from Kenya, Africa. But there are more than one places that you can go. I'd say South America, Colombia, Venezuela when it comes back to normal, Panama, Brazil, Chile, even Paraguay. I've met some really nice and attractive and sweet women in Paraguay, Asuncion and other cities, Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. Certain parts of the Asia, many people go to Thailand. Be very careful, because people in Thailand are well aware that there are these dumb Western men that are beaten down by bad, divorces, and they come there, and because their buddy told them, hey, go to Thailand, women are easy. Yeah, easy, because they come from the villages to the big cities looking for suckers, basically. Suckers who are alcoholics, older people, desperate, and they're easily impressed by any woman that shows them kindness, because they've been so beaten down by the women in the West that anything not harsh will appeal to them. And then, if you're, I've talked to many men, I spent a lot of time in Europe, so I talked to many men in France and Belgium that they go to Africa because they like the look of the women in Senegal and Gambia and those countries, and they go there. If that's your taste, there are very nice, friendly women that gotta speak French, because they either speak their own native language or they speak French. But many go there and they're perfectly happy. I met a French guy, very average French man in terms of his income. He worked for the utility companies in France, and now he was retired, he had a pension, and he was very happily living in Saly, Senegal, because he had fallen in love with a local woman there who was about 35-40 years, I think, younger than him, and she was very happy because he was taking care of her, and he was very happy because he had her to take care of him in more ways than one. It was a perfectly symbiotic relationship. So again, when it comes to women, it depends on your taste of their physical appearance. But the nature of women, don't ever fool yourself. Don't listen to these green guys. Don't listen to these ones that are they don't know any better. They've gone to one place, and they think they know it all. Suddenly they're a global expert. Talk to me after you've been to more than 100 countries, and talk to me after you've dated thoroughly at least 500 women. Then I can tell you, maybe you know what you're talking about, if you're an intelligent person who can absorb knowledge. Other than that, you're green. Before that, you're green. I'm sorry, it comes to this. Don't think you're a know-it-all. You're not. You'll learn the hard way. You learn the hard way if you go there to Argentina and you met some woman who's really sweet and treats you like you're the last man living on earth. And then you compare it. Oh my gosh, she's a lot better than these hard career women in America. Yes, she is initially. And then you marry her. Whatever, you realize she comes with a caravan of her family, and expects you to take care of everyone. There are no angels, believe me. There are no angels. You have to be smart. Wherever you go, you have to take your smarts and your wits with you, and you have to keep your feet on the ground, if you know what that means. You have to keep your feet on the ground. Don't be easily impressed, and don't decide and judge too quickly. You will learn the hard way, like a cold slap in the face. My purpose here is to help and to guide and to share what I have learned through years and years of experience, and also, more important than experience, keeping my ears open and my mouth shut and listening to the ones who've already traveled that road. Unlike these novices, these green novices who talk non-stop with their ears and eyes closed, and they think they know it all. They go to one foreign restaurant and they think they've tasted foods from all over the world. They say, well, I've been to Rome and Paris and London. I've seen the world. Need I say more? always listen more than you talk. Use that as a rule. Sorry for this long video, but they've been asking, a lot of people have been asking, and I hope I've gone to some length in being able to address that question. But expect more videos from me on this subject. But I think this has been very helpful if you listen attentively. And again, keep your eyes open, and remember, wherever you go, there you are. We're still on the same earth here. God be with you, and as always, all the best.